Welcome to the deep dive. Our mission, as always, is to distill the really vital insights from important books, research, ideas, basically helping you get well informed quickly. And today, we're doing a deep dive into a really influential book. It's genuinely reshaping how many people think about health and getting older. It's called Outlive, Extending Health Span and Preventing Disease. The authors are Dr. Peter Attia, a physician many of you probably know, and his collaborator, Bill Gifford. Yeah, Dr. Attia, he's got this impressive background, right? Stanford, Johns Hopkins, NIH. He founded Early Medical, which focuses on longevity science, and he hosts that popular podcast, The Drive. And Bill Gifford, he's a journalist who's, well, really good at making complex science clear, engaging, actually, which makes the book, very readable, not just informative. Definitely, they've really created something that feels like a genuine shift in the conversation around health. So our goal today is to unpack the core ideas from Outlive. We want to explore how these insights might actually impact your life. Because really, the heart of this book isn't just about tacking on more years. It's about adding more, vibrant, healthy life to those years. Okay, so let's kick things off. There's this crucial distinction that Attia makes right at the start. What is the fundamental difference between lifespan and health span? Let's unpack that.
Right. And that distinction, it's absolutely central. It underpins, pretty much everything Attia talks about. Lifespan. That's simple. It's just the total number of years you live, birth to death, the duration.
It's a raw number.
Exactly. But health span, that's different. That's the number of years you live free from chronic disease and disability.
Right.
It's about keeping your physical function, your cognitive function, your independence, your quality of life for as long as you possibly can.
Okay.
And what's fascinating, or maybe concerning, is how our current medical system, what Attia calls medicine 2.0, tends to focus mostly on lifespan. Treating illnesses after they show up, which sometimes means people live longer, sure, but maybe with years of decline, poor health, diminished quality of life. Attia's core argument is that true longevity, it isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving.
Yeah, I can definitely see that logic. It does feel almost backwards compared to how we often think about medicine, reacting once symptoms appear. But okay, if the goal is maximizing health span, Attia points to specific major threats. He calls them the 4 horsemen of chronic disease. Can you tell us more about those? Why are they so critical?
Absolutely. It's a stark term, 4 horsemen, but it drives the point home. He categorizes the biggest threats to our health span this way. First, cardiovascular disease. Think heart attacks, strokes.
Okay.
Second, cancer. Third, neurodegenerative conditions. This is things like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, diseases that erode brain function, memory, independence.
Yeah.
And fourth, type 2 diabetes and related metabolic dysfunction. These aren't just common diseases. Attia argues they're the main drivers of early death and, maybe more importantly for health span, the major causes of that physical and mental decline as we age.
So they really diminish the quality of those later years.
Precisely. Yeah. And what's insightful is his view that they're often interconnected. They share root causes, like chronic inflammation and metabolic problems can fuel all 4. So it makes a holistic, proactive approach even more critical. His goal with Outlive is basically to give us the tools, the knowledge to delay these horsemen, maybe even prevent them entirely.
Rather than just managing them once they've, arrived.
Exactly. Managing is medicine 2.0. Preventing is the goal of medicine 3.0.
Okay, that makes sense. It sounds like a really radical rethinking of healthcare, shifting from sort of passively waiting to actively intervening. So instead of waiting for these horsemen, Attia proposes this different approach, medicine 3.0. How is that fundamentally different from, the conventional medicine most of us know?
It's a really profound shift from that reactive medicine 2.0 model. Conventional medicine, like you said, usually waits for symptoms, then you diagnose, then you treat.
Right.
Medicine 3.0 flips that. Yeah. It emphasizes proactive, even aggressive prevention. And crucially, starting decades earlier than we normally think.
Decades. Wow.
Yeah, decades. It's about using the best cutting-edge science for really early detection, meticulous screening, and highly personalized lifestyle changes, tailored, specifically to your biology, your risks.
So it's not just getting your cholesterol checked a bit earlier.
Oh, much more than that. Attia talks about things like advanced lipid panels looking way beyond standard cholesterol at markers like ApoB, LPA, years before trouble might show up on a basic test, or using continuous glucose monitors, CGMs, to see exactly how your body handles different foods, stress. Not just a single fasting glucose number once a year. It's like a deep personalized data dive into your own physiology. The idea is to catch tiny problems, or even just predispositions, when they're still, fixable, long before they become actual diseases.
Intervening when prevention is still truly on the table.
Exactly. So you can actively shape your health journey, not just react to it.
That is a really significant departure. And for us listening, it probably raises the question, okay, what are the practical things? The cornerstones Attia suggests for building this longer health span. Let's start with nutrition. Because Attia seems to have a distinct view here, maybe even a bit counterintuitive sometimes.
He does, yeah. His take on nutrition is less about strict calorie counting or jumping on the latest diet bandwagon. It's much more about eating high-quality, minimally processed food. Food that supports your metabolic health, helps you feel satisfied.
Quality over just quantity.
Precisely. And he puts a huge emphasis on getting adequate protein.
Okay, adequate protein. What does that mean in practice?
Well, he's quite specific. He suggests that adequate, especially for health span and as we age, often means aiming for something like 1.6 to maybe 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of your body weight per day.
That sounds like quite a lot more than many people typically get.
It often is, yeah. And it's critical, he argues, for fighting sarcopenia, that's age-related muscle loss, and for keeping your metabolism healthy. He even talks about strategies like front-loading protein at breakfast to maximize how your body uses it throughout the day.
And why is preserving muscle so important?
Because muscle isn't just for strength. It's metabolically active tissue. It helps regulate blood sugar, protects against insulin resistance. It's vital. And eating whole, unprocessed foods generally helps reduce inflammation and gives your body what it needs. It actively helps prevent those four horsemen.
So less focus on exact macros, more on food quality and getting enough protein.
Pretty much. Quality and sufficiency to support your body's real needs.
Okay. That definitely challenges some common nutrition ideas. But if there's one area Attia really champions, it seems to be exercise. He makes a pretty bold claim about its power, doesn't he?
He absolutely does. He calls it the single most powerful drug for longevity. That's a direct quote.
The single most powerful drug. Wow.
Yeah. And he's not just talking about, going for a jog now and then.
Okay.
He advocates for a really comprehensive, balanced approach, covering several key areas for what he calls physical resilience.
Okay, so what does that involve?
Well, first, strength training. Not just for looks, but to build and keep muscle mass and strength. That's fundamental for metabolism, bone density, preventing frailty. He talks about progressive overload, hitting major muscle groups, even using specific benchmarks like grip strength or being able to deadlift your body weight as, longevity indicator.
Right, more than just lifting weights.
Definitely. Second is cardiovascular training.
Yeah.
He splits this into two types. Zone 2, training that steady state conversational pace, builds mitochondrial efficiency, metabolic flexibility.
Okay.
And Zone 5, training short, intense bursts like intervals, boosts your maximal aerobic capacity or the VO2 max. Keeping that high, especially as you get older, is a huge predictor of health span.
Zone 2 and Zone 5. Got it.
And third, something often overlooked, stability work. Exercises for balance, coordination, mobility.
Why is that so crucial?
To prevent falls. Falls become a massive cause of disability and lost health span as we age. Think about being able to get up off the floor easily, or keeping your ankles and hips mobile.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's really about preparing your body for a long, active life.
Exactly. Not just for the next hour in the gym, but for the next few decades.
It's incredible how much exercise covers. Metabolism, injury prevention. But health isn't just about when we're awake, right? Attia also highlights sleep.
Oh, absolutely. He frames sleep as a non-negotiable foundation. It's deeply tied to, everything. It's when your brain clears out waste products, consolidates memories, processes emotions.
It's your brain's cleaning crew.
Kind of, yeah. Consistent quality sleep is just vital for thinking clearly, balancing emotions, and it plays a direct role in preventing disease. Skimping on sleep isn't just about feeling groggy. Chronic lack of sleep messes with your hormones, increases inflammation, screws up blood sugar control, weakens your immune system.
So it contributes to the horsemen, too.
Directly. He really sees it as the bedrock. Without good sleep, even the best diet and exercise plan won't work as well. Their effectiveness just plummets.
That emphasis on sleep being non-negotiable really hits home. I used to think, I could just push through, burn the candle at both ends.
Many of us did.
Yeah, but seeing the impact he describes, it changes things.
Yeah.
What's maybe one specific sleep tip from Attia you think is really impactful but often overlooked?
That's a good question. One thing he strongly recommends, which sounds simple but is powerful, is having a consistent wake-up time.
Even weekends.
Even weekends.
Yeah, even weekends. Our internal clock, our circadian rhythm loves regularity. When you shift your wake time drastically, even just for a couple of days, it causes this social jet lag.
Yeah.
It messes with your hormone, makes it harder to fall asleep later. Beyond that, of course, the basics: cool, dark, quiet room, cutting off caffeine and alcohol well before bed, small habits, big cumulative impact. Consistency is key there too. Okay, and the final cornerstone, one that sometimes gets, well, sidelined in health talks: emotional well-being. How does Attia weave that in?
He argues very strongly that emotional and mental health have to be treated just as seriously as physical health. It's an absolutely critical piece of a strong health span.
It's not just in your head?
Not at all.
Mm.
Chronic stress, feeling isolated, unaddressed emotional issues, they aren't just feelings. They cause real physical harm. They can spike cortisol, drive inflammation, mess with your gut health, even speed up cellular aging. All pathways that contribute to those four horsemen.
Wow.
And he's very open about his own struggles in the book with depression and anxiety. It highlights that emotional health is a journey. It takes intentional effort, just like going to the gym.
So things like relationships, stress management, they're longevity tools.
Absolutely. Cultivating strong relationships, using techniques like mindfulness or therapy, having a sense of purpose. Attia sees these as fundamental longevity tools, just as important as diet or exercise for preventing decline and actually enjoying those extra healthy years.
Those are really comprehensive cornerstones. It paints a very holistic picture. Which brings us to the crucial part for everyone listening. So, what does this all mean for you and your daily life? Based on Outlive, what are some concrete, evidence-based steps we can actually start taking now?
Yeah, let's get practical. Attia distills several key actions you can start thinking about today. First, early and consistent screening. Don't wait until midlife. Start talking to your doctor now about preventive screenings, advanced lipids, fasting insulin, inflammation markers, especially if you have family history of any horseman. Don't wait for symptoms.
Be proactive with your doctor, okay?
And second, track key biomarkers diligently. Go beyond the standard annual physical results. Understand your blood glucose trends. Maybe even try a CGM for a bit. Know your ApoB, your HSCRP. This data is your personal roadmap. It helps you see tiny issues before they become big problems.
Got it. Personalized data. What's next?
Third, move in multiple ways, consistently. It's not just exercise, it's diverse movement. Aim for maybe 2-3 strength sessions a week, compound movements. Get in at least 150, maybe 300 minutes of that zone 2 cardio weekly. Brisk walk, light jog where you can still talk.
Okay.
And don't forget stability and mobility work. Even simple things. Walk daily, take stairs, stand up regularly. It all adds up dramatically, especially as we age. The best exercise is the one you do.
Consistency over intensity sometimes.
Often, yes. Especially for zone 2 and general activity.
Yeah.
Fourth, prioritize nutrient-rich eating. Focus on whole, minimally processed foods. And critically, make sure you're getting enough protein throughout the day. Cut back on refined carbs, added sugars. Think quality fuel for sustained energy. Not rigid rules, but smart choices.
Makes sense. Keep it simple, keep it whole.
Exactly. Fifth, make sleep a real priority. Consistent sleep and wake times, yes, even weekends. Optimize your bedroom. Dark, cool, quiet. Limit screens before bed. It's foundational. Non-negotiable, remember.
Non-negotiable.
Right. And finally, sixth, build emotional habits. Actively nurture your important relationships. Find stress management techniques that work for you. Meditation, nature, hobbies, therapy. Recognize that social connection, mental resilience, they are just as vital for your longevity as anything else. They're protective.
Those are really clear, actionable steps, things people can actually start doing. So moving beyond the practical stuff, what about the bigger picture, the more maybe philosophical insights Outlive offers about aging and life?
Well, if we zoom out, I think Attia's core philosophical message is that aging, it's not some fixed destiny we just have to accept. Sure, chronological age ticks by, we all get older, but our biological age, how healthy our cells and organs actually are, that's profoundly malleable. It can be changed.
We have more control than we think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The health you experience later in life, it's overwhelmingly shaped by the deliberate, proactive choices you make now and in the coming years and decades. It's about taking agency, refusing to just passively drift into potential decline, understanding you can influence how you age.
And the book warns against generic advice too, right? That one-size-fits-all doesn't really work here.
Yes, that's another key point, philosophically and practically. He really cautions against just accepting generic health recommendations. Medicine 2.0 often does that. He urges you to adopt a personalized, data-driven approach. Your metabolism, your genetics, your lifestyle are unique. What works for someone else might not work for you.
So know thyself, essentially. Through data.
Pretty much. Understand your own physiology through good screening, tracking biomarkers. Be your own informed health advocate. Work with doctors who get this proactive, personalized model.
I also found the personal element in the book really powerful. It's not just science.
Yeah.
Attia shares his own story. How does that personal journey add to the message?
You're absolutely right. That's what makes Outlive more than just a health book. He's incredibly candid about his own struggles. Metabolic issues, emotional eating, past battles with depression, even finding purpose. He puts it all out there.
Which makes it very relatable.
Totally. It shows how he arrived at these insights. They aren't just academic theories, they're hard-won lessons. Like his focus on blood sugar control isn't just about preventing diabetes in the abstract. It's about the consistent energy and mental clarity he personally struggled to achieve. That vulnerability creates this unique blend of rigorous science and, well, human experience. It makes the book a deeper reflection on finding meaning, resilience, vitality across your whole life. Not just how to live longer, but how to live well for longer. He gets the hurdles because he's faced them.
So, wrapping things up, Outlive feels like much more than just a guide to a longer life. It really comes across as a manifesto for living better. It reframes longevity, not as just delaying death, but as the art, really, of extending our health span, making those added years vibrant, full, meaningful.
Exactly. Attia and Gifford give you both the science, the cutting-edge stuff, and the practical strategies, tools to help you reimagine aging, not as this inevitable slide you just have to manage, but as a process you can actively shape, one intentional, proactive choice at a time. It's empowering. It puts you back in the driver's seat of your health story.
So here's a final thought for you to mull over. If health span isn't fixed, if your biological age can be changed, then maybe the most powerful tool for your future health isn't some miracle pill down the road. Maybe it's the accumulated weight, the compounding effect of the deliberate, proactive choices you make every single day, starting today. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Outlive.